Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Tuesday tune-up with Let's Go Win. And I have with me today my lovely wife, Lisa, because I was going to tell a story about what happened to us this past week. We had what you might consider a spat. Is that fair to say?
That's a nice word for it, yeah.
A disagreement, perhaps. And it happened to center around our youngest son that really didn't want to do homework. I know, crazy to think that during these times that we're not the best teachers, but they were having a bit of a challenge. So anyway, it got me to thinking about 3 ways to improve our relationships at home and at work. But right now, as much as we're home, I thought that would be a good place to start. So the first thing I had is just being positive. So you're always positive, right, babe?
Yeah, no. Especially during this time, it's been really hard to be positive. It's challenging for sure. I'm usually not even in the state this long, let alone in our house for this long. And then putting on top of that being a homeschool, like I'm a teacher, or right, very loose terms on that, wannabe teacher or trying to be a teacher, lunch lady, dinner lady. I mean, it's just, you name it. It's been quite challenging lately, for sure.
So in vein of trying to be positive, it's not always natural for some. But it's something to be aware of. And one of the things that's always stuck in my head is be mindful of your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words. Be mindful of your words because your words become your actions. Be mindful of your actions because your actions become your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. I know that's a mouthful, but it all starts with trying to be positive, or at least not being negative.
Yes, for sure.
So that would be step number 1, trying to be positive. What are you feeding your mind with? Are you being, if not even positive, are you at least not being negative? So that's step 1. Step 2, and I know she's gonna agree, I do an amazing job of this, active listening and open communication, because I always hear exactly what you want me to hear, right?
Yeah, no.
So it's obviously something I could work on. I'm sure others out there could as well, but a lot of times we don't actually hear what the other person is saying. We are hearing what we want to hear. And so when I have my wits about me and my emotions are settled down, I'll actually hear what she is trying to say. So active listening, heart-to-heart communication, taking my ego out of it and letting, in this case, my wife vent, be frustrated, whatever the case may be. So any tips on active listening and open communication, since you have such a shining example in myself?
Yeah, actually, James is a pretty good listener. Normally, there are some times I've realized, I do this all the time too, we get so zoned in, right, to whatever we're doing. It could be our phone, we get an email, whatever, and I think we've just gotten to the point where we really just kind of stop. I know I stop. Like if he's in his phone and I've been telling him something, I'll just stop. And it's amazing what silence will do. And all of a sudden he goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me put down my phone. What were you saying, right? And so just making sure that we are really focusing in, and sometimes we get totally distracted. And I do the same thing.
Yeah, my inner child comes out because, again, when my parents didn't say anything and were disappointed, I guess that's when it hurt way more than when they were screaming at me. So number 2 is active listening and open communication. And the third, this is one that I know I could certainly work on, and that's encourage, praise, and recognize. EPR is what we call that. Because who doesn't love to hear, hey, babe, you're doing a great job, the house looks amazing, and thank you so much for taking care of the children. Because I tell you that every day, right?
No. He doesn't. But that's okay.
But I feel that way. So I guess the point is, when I do go out of my way to say, you know what, thank you so much for keeping the house put together. Thank you so much for a lot of the work you do with Let's Go Win and the marketing and so many things, all the hats that you're wearing. Who doesn't love to be told you're doing a great job? So the third key is encourage, praise, and recognize. I don't know, you didn't necessarily grow up in that culture where it was freely given, so.
No, it was not given at all, actually. And I'm sure a lot of the Asian cultures out there, you can maybe relate to this, but yeah, there was never I love yous or hugs or anything like that. And so it's really interesting though, but we all need it. You know, even though I didn't grow up with it, I feel like we all need it. And then after meeting JM, which has been, gosh, we've been together for 18 years, he is the biggest hugger and the biggest lover. And I feel like once you get used to that, if you don't get it, then I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, where's my hugs? Like, you know, I love getting that. Actually, it's really funny. I'm always like, JM, why don't you tell me, like, great job on the laundry today? I know it's so silly, but if we're stuck at home, and this is what I have to go off of, you know, sometimes that's nice to hear.
So a hug goes a long way. That would be the recognition part. So again, guys, 3 steps: be positive, or at least not negative, active listening, open communication, and encourage, praise, and recognize, otherwise known as EPR. Anything else you want to let these folks know? Because we're going to be here every Tuesday giving them some tidbits on, you know, I guess at this point, our relationship and failures and how we get better.
Yeah. Hang in there. I'm telling you something. We have survived. Like, no one has killed each other yet, so that's winning, right? I'm always like, winning. Everyone's still alive in our household, and we're usually, JM usually travels every other week. And so for us, it's definitely been a transition and just figuring out, and we just know sometimes you're going to have a spat or two, and it's okay. Like, doesn't mean that you love each other less. And it's communicating and getting through that, which makes you grow stronger.
So guys, we'd love to hear your comments on trying these 3 things and how that helped in your home life or work life. So please check us out on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn with Let's Go Win. And then also subscribe to the channel. If you like what we had to say, please share that so we can continue to build this community, because we believe in what we have and what we're trying to share with the world, and we really appreciate you being here today. So thanks for being here as well.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.